Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 7. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like this video in support of me, and you can share it. Leave your comments below. Let's dialogue. And if you are new, please subscribe and hit that notification button. This is not going to be a long review whatsoever. Let's get into it. Okay, so we start off with Sinus. Her and her husband are at the car dealership, and she says, "Every 2 years, you said that you will be buying me a car." Mike said, "I did." Yes. So if he's saying all this, it seems like he's not prepared for these scenes whatsoever. And anyone that knows, if you are getting a new car, I'm going to say it this way, getting a new car every 2 years, it's just that the lease is up. Leasing cars. Shout out to Toya. Are you being a good example? Shout out to Married to Medicine. And today, at this moment, shout out to Dr. Simone. So we're like, oh, okay. So she's in the car talking about, listen to this engine. It's so sexy. This car is, you can't buy a car that you cannot have sex in. And then she lifts up her leg.
I'm singing to his tune when he with my legs and put them up to the moon.
She a grandmother rapping about her legs to the moon with the pants on.
Miss Video Vixen. Miss, my boyfriend taped an X-rated video of us. Miss, I only did webcam. Miss, I'm so humiliated. I didn't sleep for 3 days. Well, I didn't sleep for 3 days. I'm so humiliated. And you go back to this. It may have been something if you were just doing it in front of your husband. The car salesman was right there. I don't know if this is the second time or third time. However, it's been more than one time that her husband had to say, "You're doing too much." Sinus is not authentic. She's not authentic for this show. I don't know who done pumped her up. I don't know who decided to put her on the casting list. And these jokers that have been pumping her up, what has she really been giving? I mean, really evaluate and see. We're 7 episodes in. You start to get a feel of, A, what the season is going to be about, and get to feel about some people if they're new. What is your grade thus far? Because she's supposed to show out, according to the rest of y'all, to some of y'all. So is she going to get grade on the curve because for 2 episodes she does something to somebody? Whatever. But she's so great. So then the rest, she's complaining about Angela and lying about Angela, acting like she doesn't have any empathy. She says, "How do you know about the insurance thing?" You don't know. You're not a part of this. What if I go around talking about your stuff? Who was she talking about? Angela asked you a question. You said that your license first was suspended, was it? Or taken away from you, whichever one. And then now they're in jeopardy and then in investigation. I heard jeopardy and in investigation. So that's 3 lies, or 3 things that you have said. And you're blaming it still on Kenya in episode 7. And now you got to say, well, we know, we figured it out on our own. We didn't need your help. About Charles's son. Well, I heard something about Charles. What if I went around and said her business, but she wasn't going around telling your business? So that didn't equate to, that does not fit. It does not balance. Angela wasn't telling your business. She asked you a direct question, and then Psycho Sinus came out. I really want to call her something else. But it's not going to be in order. I want to call her something else, but I'm not going to. Whatever. But yeah, that's not making sense. So I can tell that you are conjuring up what you think a reality star is or whatever, and you're really missing the mark. And I'm going to say it again in another scene. You're missing the mark trying to be a reality star. So you're conjuring up stuff and think you're messy. And the only things you got to say is about Angela, at least for now, in your screen time, talking about procedures that you have got done, that you have not tried to resolve at all. Angela has Drew over. They go outside to her cabana, her, like, I'll call it cabana, just like that. Angela said that she spoke to Marcus Jordan. This is Michael Jordan's son. And said, hey, I talked to Marcus and he said that you're not his cousin. And Drew said, oh, it was just a joke. I was just joking. But then they flash back and see that Drew was, what is it? What did they call it? Standing on business in regards to Michael Jordan being her cousin. Michael Jordan's from North Carolina, not even from Chicago, lady. Drew, now I have to defend you probably for the next couple of episodes. Now, one, I don't even see it for you on reality TV. I've started adding reality TV for you specifically because I think you are wonderful with other things, but I think that and how the season is turning out, you are going to sink. You don't have nobody in your corner, and you got I'll just say the mean girl for this era being a mean girl, and the other girls are following suit. So anyways, they talk about the peace brunch. Angela talks about the food was halfway done. She said the grits needed to be cooked some more. I said, that's how folk talk, so ain't no sense in just saying that she being shady, and it's actually truth. Drew imitates Sinus about inviting her out to have drinks or whatever, just to get to know each other. And she agrees to go. Drew talks about court. She says that Ralph was trying to get the divorce records unsealed. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. So Angela, who knows about Portia's birthday trip, invites Drew. And Drew's like, I don't know. I'm only going to come if Portia is comfortable with me being there because, look. And probably Angela should have just listened to Drew when she said what she said because it looks like it's going to be a mess. So Kelly invited Cynthia, Portia, and Shamia. Cynthia talked about the type of man that she wants. Cynthia got a man. She got this man that lives over in Europe someplace. She was caught by TMZ before, so he's a model and younger. I think probably he's got to be in his 20s, maybe 30s, but hot looking guy. They talk about the peace brunch, and Kelly talking about, Drew and Angela were a team twirl, and Britt was defensive and all of that. And I guess we didn't see it all. That's all I'm going to chalk it up to because I'm just going to go by what I see on my screen. And what are y'all talking about? I mean, what are you talking about, Kelly? Kelly talked about dyeing her dog's hair in order to keep the dog separate because the dog was kidnapped some years ago. And she said the only way that she would be able to signify this dog is dyeing the hair. She says that she has vegan and non-harmful chemicals in the dog's hair. So we're going to go with that. Portia brings up the Nashville trip. She's bringing some people. That includes her sister Lauren, of course, and Manetta Shaw, who was an official friend of the show for 2 years with Candy. So I guess Portia runs in the same circles as Candy. Look, Manetta really is her own social circle. She's the HBIC for whatever circle she got going on. I learned this during the show Bold and Bougie by Mr. Carlos King that aired on WeTV or the other show, or other network last summer. So yeah, Moneta is the one that's got this social circle and all of that. So she should be reigning pretty high or whatever. But now she's coming to be Portia's groupie for her girls trip that she's excluding Drew, a peach holder, someone who has a contract on the show, and the producers let it happen. Kelly is teaching her daughter how to drive. Shamia's in the booth recording. Angela's talking with her children, and for some reason they said Angela's son, and we know that that's not Angela's son, at least biologically. Whatever. She talks about her face because she asked the children, how do you like my face? Well, she knows that she's got a nose job, and she knows that her nose was pinched. So she was recommended to get Botox to blow it up. Okay. And she owns it. So people can't keep talking about her nose, in my opinion. And someone else on your cast needs it. And someone who is no longer on the cast. It needs it too. Um, Drew and Britt meet, and they both ordered the same thing as far as lemon drop martini. They use different type of alcohols. They start talking about the peace brunch, and Britt felt away at how they were acting and being on Kenya's side and all that stuff. Do you know these folks actually have relationship and history with Kenya, and they're supposed to just turn their backs on someone who is a cast member for you? That makes no sense whatsoever. Drew said, well, you were being celebratory about Kenya's leaving. And but besides all that, Drew said, I want to get to know you, and I'm an open book. Okay, so then Drew says, so did you sell cat? No, I got. I never did. I never. Why were you stumbling over something? You said that you were humiliated, and you said also to Drew that I did webcam for like a week with my friend who was a girl. We were just naked and having conversations. So you needed to scrub the internet for two girls that were naked having a conversation on webcam. Even though webcam is a place where you have to do whatever these people are saying or asking you to do, as long as they are paying you. Do you know how stupid you think that we're stupid? You think that we're stupid, and that's how stupid you are. So if that's all you did, and you said that you made a video with your boyfriend when you were a teenager, that's what was on the internet? That's what you were humiliated by and haven't slept for days? Now, when you filmed last week with your tears, you said that I hadn't slept for 24 hours. Did anyone catch that the night that she snapped on, that she threatened Kenya the very next day? I hadn't slept for 24 hours. You're really up. So I've been crying and been up and all that, but I powered through and you can't keep it down. You're humiliated over a webcam with you being with a girl just naked. But we heard that you were singing on a beef. Who was the beef? So Drew made a claim that she probably recognizes whomever the beef is for. And then Britt was like, what? So you sucked that? And Drew was like, no. One thing about me is I joke. Drew is going to get you in trouble. When probably you're not lying about something, now they got evidence. And how these girls are going to move towards you, they're going to say everything's a lie. And they're going to gang up on you. You don't have a defense on there. I think Angela will defend you, but they're going to try to come. They're going to be coming at you and yourself. You and Angela. So Drew, you are putting yourself in a place that nobody's going to be able to get you out of. And probably Portia's trying to find ways to get you off the show. Britt was like, I need you to put yourself in my shoes and what you're going through. Drew said, look, I hear you out. And I understand I've been under public scrutiny and all that. It comes with the territory and all that, blah, 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 blah. Because obviously this video vixen knows nothing about scrutiny, even though she says that she's received hate all of her life. But basically they both said that they love each other's energy and they're moving forward. I saw that they were holding hands. You wouldn't hold my hand. But anyways. Okay, so this Drew and Ralph thing just reminds me of Bob and Sheree, season 4. So Drew was moving forward to getting Ralph out of the house, getting Ralph's financial records, and to keep the record sealed. What happened when they went to court? Oh, the producers asked, what are you scared of? And she said, I'm not scared. I'm more fearful for Ralph and the stuff that it will reveal about him. Drew, you're lying. You're saying that you don't want your children to know what is going on. And if it was all Ralph, who cares? Drew, I think that you've got a past. I believe that probably one of the reasons you never really left him because you knew that he had dirt on you during your marriage. I think y'all both were doing some stuff. And it's probably best for you to let that out. But I know you're not going to because you can't even acknowledge what you did in South Carolina in season 13. And it's just going to make you look bad more and more. So they go to court and all that good stuff. Whoever is Ralph's attorney, a black woman too, said whatever Drew was doing, it was just a cash grab. I don't know what that means, but because what Drew was saying that she wanted is not the same thing that they are trying to report. However, Ralph gets to stay in the home, and also the records are going to be unsealed for the world to see. They have a little argument outside, and that was that. Nashville. Angela misses her flight. When she arrives, the group is talking about her, and she knows that they're talking about her, but she keeps it cute. When she sits down, has some pleasantries, she says that I would like for Drew to come. Portia gets an attitude, and she says, I anticipate Drew to come. Basically, did you invite her to come? I anticipate her coming. Then Portia said, it's whatever. In her confessional, she's saying something else. Kelly always brings her glam squad, and she brought her stylist here, and Britt gets to use, I didn't mean to say Britt, I meant to say Sinus. She recommended her stylist to Sinus. So, I don't understand it. It looks like Kelly's being an awesome friend to this thing and offering all her resources and all this stuff, but I don't really see any type of mutual anything. What is Sinus doing for Kelly? And since you are the self-made boss, Sinus, where's your stylist at? You have not blinged out at all. I don't care anything about you getting in a Ferrari. Did you buy it? Y'all have done nothing on this show. Y'all have shown nothing. So later on, I think like Shamia and Cynthia were around each other, and they said Portia is upset with Angela, but she says, I'm choosing peace. And they do bull riding. Drew has not arrived in Nashville. She is staying in Atlanta, at least for a day, to celebrate with Dennis. We don't see Dennis there, but her sister is there with her. She was offered a recording deal with the music label called Connect Music, and all that good stuff. The girls go out that night in Nashville, and everyone's asking where Drew is. And of course, they were cool at one point, so that's why they're asking. And then Portia just complains, well, she's going to be coming here, but I don't really want her here. And Angela, you pressured me. Pressured me? That's like bullying. That's not what I did. And then Portia was getting all mad at Angela and all that good stuff. And she said, okay, keep talking to me like a 5-year-old. I'm not talking like your 5-year-old, Portia said. And she said, yeah, you are. You're talking to me like a 5-year-old. I'm more talking to you like a 65-year-old so that they can take another dig at her age. That's getting old really quickly. And then they start talking really grossly about Drew, and now it's alleged that Drew was sucking Dennis's you-know-what. How did it go from there? Weren't we just like shaming people for sex and all this stuff, and so humiliated? And now we're going back to that. At least the wench did say, that's disgusting or gross. I forgot what she said. I like she made an announcement, but she wasn't shutting it down. I'll tell you that much. Even though she's so humiliated. And it doesn't make sense that we're going this route because of how season 13 was in regards to the Bolo situation. But hey, when it's someone else, it's okay. When it's Kenya. And another thing, I don't understand why a Peach is not invited to a group trip. I don't care whose birthday it is, especially in this group that's fractured. That makes no sense. So you got to hire all these other people to come on your trip to try to make it fun. That makes absolutely no sense. And production is just stupid. The funds are truly original, and I've been saying it for years. If Kenya had not invited LaToya Hutchinson, y'all would have had a fit. She's evil. She's mean. She's y'all would have did all that if that was a group trip. Kenya even invited her on the Alabama trip last year, and she still cut up. But Kenya's evil and vile. Okay, so y'all tell me what y'all thought of this episode. It was not good. So, for at least right now, it looks like I'm going to stick around until at least I got to defend Drew. I'm going to defend Drew, and then I'm going to point out other people's mean girl abilities since y'all love to say stuff about other people. So, that's all I have. Y'all have a good night.